Kidnapped, walking the scene with you in old flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth pop sound. Their inside is so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love for movies stands tall. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Welcome back to the VHS Club. I'm laughing at Josh's comment. Josh is just like, no to spooky movies. But that's okay, because Josh hangs out with us anyway, so he's welcome. You're always welcome here.
I was going to say, it's not that spooky, but it does get a little scary at the end. It does have very tense moments.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's very 80s, so it's very like, it's campy.
Teen 80s.
It's campy. It's a slow build. We're getting ahead of ourselves. I was just noticing in our theme song that which I still don't know what all the lyrics are. I promise at some point we'll get one of those like follow along with the lyrics. but I did notice at one point it says from Pulp Fiction to Clueless, and I was like, oh, we haven't done Pulp Fiction, so we should add that one to the. It's on the list, but we should
we loved that
we should
one.
Move it. We should move it along on the list. Well,
didn't you used to have that speech memorized? Like Sam Jackson's monologue?
I
Sure you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do anymore. I remember having it memorized.
I mean, it wasn't to the level of like the Romeo and Juliet soliloquy, but but it was pretty close. You absolutely had it memorized.
My poor children. So in addition to saying every night to them, good night, I'll most likely kill you in the morning, which is from Princess Bride. I also, every time that anyone ever says like the word two, like the number two, which is obviously all the time, I'm like, two houses, both alike in dignity. Two potatoes, both alike in dignity. These poor kids have no idea what that even references, and like it's just in their head forever.
Please.
Yeah. I mean, Scarlett does, and I'm sure Kieran.
I was like, she hasn't seen Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet yet. Please.
She has not. It's probably wildly inappropriate at this point, but yeah, she's 10. She's 10. She's 10. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, we saw worse movies before then.
That is true. That is true.
I feel like she also needs to start her love of young DiCaprio. This is the right age. Okay, maybe in another couple of years, but still.
That's very true. Well, tonight we are sadly not talking about Romeo and Juliet. We're talking about the Lost Boys. So shout out if you're hanging out with us in our live studio audience. Let us know if you've seen this one. And if you're like George, it's been a while. So obviously it's not one of George's favorite movies, but he can hang here anyway. Or maybe you're like Josh and you're like, nah, to all of the spooky movies. And you're waiting. You're waiting for us to jump back into November, which is non-spooky movies. And I see Andrew hanging out with us. Andrew, I didn't even tell Nat yet, but Andrew's going to join us for Mary Poppins, which
I saw on our schedule. I'm so excited.
Very excited by. So thank you to Andrew for throwing out that idea. I don't actually. When is Mary Poppins? Like, when was Mary Poppins made?
Before our time.
It's before our time. But you know what?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
So gosh darn
young
good.
Dick Van Dyke,
Mm-hmm.
like
I know. I'm like
Like
Dick
very
Van Dyke
young.
is
Like,
99. So
without
let's do some
white
math.
hair. Like
quick math.
What was it? What is
Mhm.
Murder Diagnosis MD or something? What was that show with him? Do
Diagnosis
you remember
Murder?
that?
Diagnosis
Diagnosis
Murder.
Murder.
Mm.
I mean, that was on when we were kids, so it
You know
was
what?
well before that.
This is outside of this show, obviously, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna waste all of our time talking about this. But I feel like for me personally, November, so October, November are cozy months. December, super cozy month. November, I feel like is gonna be like my cozy mystery month. I know that doesn't relate to this show because it's mostly TV shows and books, but yeah, yes to Diagnosis Murder, yes to Murder She Wrote, prepping for a new Murder She Wrote.
I'm
Yes
so
to
excited
Agatha
about that.
Christie, everything, books and movies
Yeah.
and
I've been rewatching the David Suchet Poirot recently because I do that every so often.
yeah, solid.
And fight me on it. I'm sorry. I love David Suchet. I know Peter Ustinov. I know. But David Suchet was the be all end all of Poirot. Nobody will ever do it better. That's for you, Kenneth.
I'm not gonna fight you on it.
Katie knows my opinion about the new Poirots.
And Josh is like, well, darn it, Romeo and Juliet is one he has seen. When we've done, I'm gonna make these comments bigger because it's late. It's late for me. It's been a long week. All right, let's jump in.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys. Since you love this one and know this one really, really well, can I do the summary of it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, I have it so prepared. Go ahead.
You can correct me when I'm inevitably
No,
wrong.
I won't.
All right. Okay.
You're not gonna be wrong.
Single mom and her two teen boys move to Santa Clara, which is like Santa Cruz, but not. And she's the mom from Better Off Dead. So I just needed to add that in just for you to all appreciate with me how quirky and wonderful she is in both movies.
I love her.
And then the story is teenage boy falls in love with teenage girl who lures him into a gang of teenage vampires, and he ends up getting turned into a vampire by drinking what does not look like blood and having a really, really bad experience with it. And then my favorite moment in the entire movie that happens at the very end, spoilers, is that the grandfather, who is absolutely fantastic, just knew that there were vampires.
The thing about this town, the thing that I've always hated about this town is there's always too many damn vampires.
Too many damn vampires.
Which
That's got to be the best line
it
in the movie.
implies that this is where their mom grew up.
Yes. Yeah, no, yeah. It
So,
definitely,
like,
she's
she
bringing them
didn't
home
know
to her
about
dad's
this?
house. Yeah.
I'm like, if Grandpa knew about this, I'm pretty sure she knew about this. I'm like, we need a follow-up movie, which there are two-ish.
Yeah. Two-ish.
There was a sequel made
Yep.
well after this one. Even though this one sets up for a sequel, it never happened until decades later. Also starring a Sutherland, though not Kiefer. But his younger or youngest brother, there's a whole like clan of them.
It's a lot of Sutherlands.
A lot of Sutherlands. And not the French Canadian one, which I'm obsessed with. He played the French Canadian one. What's his name? Royce. He was Nostradamus in that show that you loved.
I can't tell you anyone's names. It's really funny that you think I can. Everyone at home is just yelling out like the name. They're like, ah! It's not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Anyway. And then the third Lost Boy movie just seems like Corey Feldman got like some spending money and made himself a movie.
Yeah.
Which good for you, Corey, because you know what, you're adorable and you deserve good things.
Yeah.
He's not had the best life. So this is one of the movies that was starring the two Coreys, which the two Coreys in the 80s was like, they were the like Tiger Beat teen bop boys. They were like even more so than Kiefer Sutherland or Jason Patrick, who was the very handsome young man in this movie. I mean, they were all good looking.
Yeah.
That was kind of the casting requirements, like must look like very seductive vampire. Like,
the ChatGPT summarized this movie as the movie that made vampires cool again and mullets questionable. And I was like,
oh, mullets were so cool then.
Yeah.
So was like terrible bleached hair.
And the one earring.
And lots of earrings. I'm wearing my extra earring
Yeah.
I only have 3 earring piercings, like just the regular ones and then the one extra. Because in the 80s, you just kind of sometimes you did the one extra or a whole bunch extra.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are always like, "Oh, you're missing an earring." It's like, no, it was the 80s. Never mind.
I know that this is jumping ahead, but since we're talking about earrings, there is a
Yeah.
moment in this movie. So Michael, the
There's
older,
so many earrings in this movie.
there's so many earrings in this movie. But Michael, the older brother, is
Yeah.
like trying to catch this beautiful girl who is basically just luring him to his
Star.
Star, who's great. But but he ends up the next morning. He has this like one pierced ear. And so Michael's younger brother is like making fun of him for having this earring. And then like it cuts to Sam's face, the younger brother, and he also has one earring. I'm like, he's being very judgy about this, given that he just has a very tiny diamond stud though. So maybe that's part of it. It's not as glamorous.
And this was like a big
Michael.
dangly medallion.
Yeah.
So in the movie, it seems that Michael is like, he's the older brother. He's probably about 18. He has his license. He has a dirt bike or motorcycle. He seems kind of more the responsible one. Like they're in a freshly divorced family situation, and his mom seems to rely on him a lot. They get into town, and he's immediately trying to look for a job. But then he gets, caught up in the whole vampire seduction of it all.
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe Sam was mocking his brother because it's like, well, why? Like, you're not the kind of person that gets your ear pierced or buys a leather jacket or follows a girl around like this creepy, derelict town, but also seems to simultaneously be sort of like a seasonal summering place that people visit.
It feels
it's
very like
both derelict and very touristy.
I've never been to, so people in the chat or listening or watching later who are from Santa Cruz, you can totally judge me for this statement, but like it feels boardwalky. It feels like it could be. The town is supposed to be like based
like
on Santa Cruz. Yeah. It's
like
called
the
Santa
pier
Clara
and
in this,
the fair, like the Ferris wheel and the fair and the.
I say don't judge me because according to my movie facts, it said that so the town is named after. So I'm scrolling through to find the exact details because so the filming took place in Santa Cruz, which the town is named. It's like a fake town named after Santa Cruz. But at the time, that Santa Cruz was nicknamed the murder capital of the world due to a string of serial killers from the 70s. The city almost refused to let them film there.
Because it's about
fair.
The murder capital of the world. Yeah.
Which fair. The city was like, you know what we don't want? A lot of bad press around teenage vampires killing people. That feels wrong right now.
We don't want more serial missing people like associated with our town.
But you're right though. It is like the whole beginning of the movie, you're like, wow, cool town for mom to like take these teen kids to. I mean, she's definitely.
It really looks like. Yeah. Like they're going to be townies in this like summer, like place where people use summer as a verb, you know? Like, but I mean, they don't really show that side because they do sort of show the whole underbelly of it. That's kind of like, that's the whole thing in the movie. Yeah.
Kathy's bringing up a really good point. She's saying Lost Boys is Goonies with fangs. Or is it
is.
E.T. with fangs? It was supposed to be a kid's movie, which I think is wild. Like
they're a bit older.
But originally, the original concept of the movie was supposed to be like Goonies, but like
the Frog Brothers, based on the Frog Brother vampire hunters. Yeah.
And then they were like, let's make it sexier. And so they took it to teenagers. And
there's a lot of music montages and gauze flapping in the wind and candlelight and moonlight and fangs. Like the fangs were great in this because we see a lot of fangs in movies and TV shows, and vampires are on and off very popular. And I really liked the fang placement in this movie. Whoever did the costuming for that or the FX, like, good job, love it, still love it.
This one is great because they are teenagers, and it is a little bit of a different take on vampires. And I will say, It did. I said this is 1987 that this came out. So this is certainly, well before all of the kind of more like modern day teen vampires that we're now used to, right? This is well before Twilight.
Not vampire.
It's not, Vampire
I was gonna
Diaries.
say, I'm like, it's before Vampire Diaries. It's not. It's when the books came out. It's before the TV show that we got saddled with. I know everybody loves it. I'm sorry. I liked the books as a kid.
It's generally the same. So I think it is a little bit before the Vampire Diaries books came out, but I do think
they came out in the 80s.
Oh, there you go.
They started coming out in the 80s, man. Like, so they were old.
This is the
but yes.
But this is kind of the spurring of this idea of like vampires as being a little bit
sexy teens.
A little bit different than what we've seen before. But in addition to them being sexy teens, and in this one they're like kind of like dangerous sexy teens, right? They have motorcycles and it's very, the whole film is very moody, as similar to a teenager, obviously. Yeah. But it is interesting in that the way that they turn a vampire in this movie is way less gory and crazy than a lot of the other, folklore that we've heard around vampires, right? Like he drinks blood out of the bottle, which doesn't at all look like blood. But at no point,
drinks the master's blood.
He drinks the master's blood. So it
kind of like, it's like you're getting tapped, like to join a team or whatever. You're getting tapped to possibly be a vampire.
Well, and
then you have to make your first kill to become officially a vampire.
Yes. And I guess maybe because we don't get all the way to Michael making his first kill. Like, so again, spoilers, Michael will be fine. but it is,
so will Star.
And
he
so will Star.
And Laddie.
But I did like that it felt a lot more. This one doesn't feel as like it has gory parts in it, but it feels closer to me to like a Final Destination than like some of the more modern day vampire movies, which are a lot more sexualized and are a lot more like vampires. Like it's like they have to like drink the person's blood all the way until they're basically at death, and like there's like a lot more violence and sexuality associated with it. Whereas this one felt more like teen drinking games, right? Like it's like
more,
they like drink this, and then they have this whole scene where they take him out to the train track, and they're like hanging there. Like it's very much like more of like a daring chicken drinking teen culture. Like I think they did a really nice job with it.
It's almost like they're sort of hazing Michael to see if he would be a good fit for the group.
Yeah.
So instead of just like killing him or feeding off of him, they're kind of testing him to see if he would be a good brother.
Yep.
And also so we find out at the end, getting Michael and Sam to turn and to be part of this like little this boy vampire gang is a ploy from the head vampire, the master vampire, to lure their mother, who he wants to kind of be the vampire queen, like his vampire queen, like the mother of this vampire den, like it's like they kind of tap Michael partially because he was into sort of David's like supposed like girlfriend. Like you think David and Star kind of have this connection, this thing, and it's like, why is he letting Michael kind of flirt with her? And she's trying to get Michael to try and save her, but she's not allowed to tell him anything. So it has that sort of, and then we find out, David likely did that because he needs to get him in so that the master can turn their mother.
Yeah.
I
mean, in the Master's defense, there are not a lot of women in this gang. There's basically just Stars. So
and she's super pretty.
It feels women light in this space.
And she's very kind and motherly.
Yeah.
And also shocking, he's I mean, for people, if you haven't seen it in a while, going back to see it, the like vampire master is Rory Gilmore's grandpa.
I know.
He's an autumn.
Yeah. He is.
Survey says he's an autumn.
I love it. I need to call this comment out because it proves I'm right. So according to Wikipedia, the first Vampire Diaries book published in 1991. So she may have been writing in the 80s. I'm gonna force my opinion that this was inspiration. In my mind, the author of that series was a diehard Lost Boys fan.
Probably.
I
I
mean,
thought the
why
first
not?
one came out 87.
Oh,
I
there
don't know
you
where I
go.
got it,
There
but
you
she
go.
also wrote like a gajillion books.
Yeah, their books.
So,
I'm with you that the books are better than the TV shows, and I did enjoy the TV show.
yeah. I loved the books.
So
but they were different. Anyways,
they
it
were
doesn't
different.
matter.
Do you remember the first time you saw this? I know you've seen this 8 million
No.
billion times. No, yeah, me neither.
No. I mean, I saw it when I was younger because I think I thought it was a kids movie because it was,
Supposed to be.
supposed to be a kids movie.
Sort
So
of,
for
but
sure,
not
I mean, I
quite.
didn't see it when it came out, but probably shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. Yeah.
I love the song Cry Little Sister. It's in my head basically all the time. I
Mhm.
don't even like most of my life. I think about this song at least once a week. It's weird. I don't know why. We have to talk about, and it's one of these phenomenons that like just jumped out from this movie. So the movie sparked obviously like it's a Brat Pack movie because it has Kiefer Sutherland and Jamie Gertz in it.
Mhm.
It sparked fashion, like the whole like sort of boho
Fashion,
chic that came up in the
music,
80s
yeah.
and the mullets and the bleached hair and the music. So there's this scene near the beginning of the movie. We see at the pier, they have a concert going on, and this is where Michael first sees Star and his infatuation begins. But the band, there's this very short clip of this extremely oiled up bodybuilder saxophone player
Why
that it's just
are those
why
people
was he
not
so
everywhere?
oiled up?
Why was
But he was then. So that's the thing. He was an actual musician and that was an actual band that played.
Yep.
But like he toured, like he played for Tina Turner. Like he was not small potatoes, and he still does like the Comic-Con circuit and stuff because
why
people
would he
still
not?
are obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And he still does the acid wash jeans, the like muscle shirts with the what's it called? I want to say jock strap. That's not what it is.
That's not
What's
what
it?
it
A
is,
shuttlecock.
There you go.
Shuttlecock.
There you go.
Yes, he
Yep.
wears a leather shuttlecock.
Leather shuttlecock. His name, by the way, is Tim Capello, and his saxophone scene is like literally iconic in this movie.
Iconic.
As it should be. It's like it's one of those moments
Like
where you're kind of
there's
like,
been
what?
memes.
Yeah.
People reference it and don't even know what it's from. It's from The Lost Boys. It's just, and I remember as a teenager, I remember watching this first time with my brother Andrew, and he's like, whoa, wait,
Whoa,
let's
pause.
rewind
Whoa.
that.
Yeah, let's rewind that.
What was that? And I remember him, and I'm pretty sure our friend Pike, and they were pissing themselves laughing. They're like, what the fuck was that? Go back. We need to watch that like another 50 times. And it became one of our favorite scenes in the movie. Like, it's just so iconic for like out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Absolutely out of nowhere. Luis is saying that he remembers the first time he saw this movie, so we're waiting for you to follow up, Luis, and let us know. I don't remember the first time I saw this one either, but I do know that this one in my mind is like, as many of the movies that we do is like highly associated with like sleepovers, watching this one like over and over and over again, and certainly like, you know, the first few years of university where we just did like endless movie-a-thons. But it like I've seen it a lot, and I had to quickly watch it tonight because I've been working at an event all week and I did not pull off this on time. But I'm here, you all. I'm in it, and I did get through most of it. I fast forwarded just sort of like the last little bits where it was just like moodiness, and I was like, I got it. Speed watching. But I was amazed at the amount of lines in this one. Again, like sort of similar to Monty Python. I was like, oh, that's where a lot of this is from. Yeah,
so many great quotes.
There were a lot of really, really good ones, and like not even
especially from David.
Yes, Sam had a lot of good ones too, though. Like
he did. Oh my God, Corey Haim was just he was so cute.
He was so cute.
He was just so cute. I had such a crush on him when I was little, and he was so good, such a good actor. He delivered his lines so well, and him and Michael really had like the way they portrayed their brotherhood was very genuine. Like the slight bickering, the fighting, and especially that age gap, the like say like 14 to 18 age gap, you know, like Oh my God, and Jamie Gertz,
Yeah.
I have to confess, and I told this to Katie earlier, I will never forget the day that my mom was like, Natalie, you will never grow up to have hair like that.
Just
Because when I
shattering
was
your
little,
dreams.
I was obsessed with Jamie Gertz. She's so beautiful,
She's so
so
pretty.
effervescent. And she's just phenomenal in so many movies in the 80s. She was part of this Brat Pack. And I wanted that like big, free, curly hair. And my mom's like, you have extremely fine pin straight hair. Like, look, kid, even if we permed it, it's not gonna happen. Like, and my mom was so pragmatic and like a scientist and was just like, the logic is this. And I was just like, I will never forget that moment. We're in my room, standing in front of my mirror, and I'm just like,
ugly crying.
Yeah. And my mom's like, you're an idiot. Like, you're smarter than this, Natalie.
Now that you're an adult, I feel like you really need to just like spend the money and buy yourself a Jamie Gertz wig and just like own the moment where you're like, I am Jamie Gertz.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
I think that would be absolutely
that hair,
incredible.
epic.
Oh, well, Louise beats all of us because Louise saw this local broadcasting here in South Florida. It was a WDZL 33 movie premiere, 8 p.m. showcase. That is impressive. I don't think I remember, other than, and again, we've talked about how like terrible my memory has gotten as the days literally tick on. But I definitely know I went to go, like I vividly remember seeing like I saw Titanic in the theater. I remember going to see The Lord of the Rings in the theater. I remember going to see Harry Potter in the theater. Like I remember the like midnight showings or the ones that were like huge movies.
That was such a thing. People don't do that anymore.
I don't remember this one I definitely didn't see in the theater because it came out in 1987 and my parents were way stricter than Nat's parents were, so they did not let me watch this at home. But this would have been
I feel like half the time because I was a latchkey kid and like it's on TV. And like maybe my dad taped it too because he used to like set the
set the VCR,
VHS player, the VCR to like record something that was on at midnight, you know, so we'd have like he could watch it later. So it's like he would film this and I'd be like, nah, nobody's home. I'll watch this. It was honestly not that my parents weren't strict, just that I was a latchkey kid. Like, there was a certain amount of hours I was alone. Got away with it.
Well, you're not alone, Nat, to make you feel better. Kathy says that the amount of relaxers that she had to endure to have 80s hair was a lot. So everyone was trying to get there.
I mean, it goes
sides.
every which way, right?
Every which way. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you know? So I was just sitting here researching a ton of different facts about this movie, but Kiefer Sutherland broke his wrist in production, which changed how he held the motorcycle in scenes. Like, can you imagine like having a broken wrist and trying to drive around on a motorcycle? Would be absolutely.
I mean, I don't think they were really driving.
That's
was probably
true.
like on a track because they were driving like on the beach in sand. I'm like, this 18-year-old kid like just buys a leather jacket to try to impress a girl, and it's like, I'm gonna drive down a set of steps from the docks onto the sand and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Ends up at a cliff. One thing, and even when I was younger, I thought this. So one thing that grabs me about the movie is, okay, so their parents were recently divorced, and David is sort of hazing Michael to be part of this gang and offers him at the beginning of the movie some drugs, drugs that are legal now. Yeah. And so, and it comes up a couple of times and Sam even like bugs me. He's like, oh, and it was one of his really cute lines where he's like begging, but it was like a line like that people used in the 80s about taking drugs. What was it? Biased, something biased? Are you chasing the bias or free
basing?
Yes.
You can tell we do a lot of drugs over here. We're like, what is it called?
Or not enough drugs.
One or the other. Yeah, free. Yeah, that was one of his funny lines. That one I liked.
Yeah. So after that night out, Michael is sleeping in all day, and I'm like, it's just like a teen rebelling at a really shit situation, like hormones and puberty,
/ turning into a vampire. But sure, yeah,
divorce. No, but it made me think like, is the whole vampire thing, did that really happen? Did any of it really happen?
Is it all a dream? That's an interesting perspective.
Is it all just him like him and possibly
deep trauma.
Sam
Yeah.
processing the difficulty of their situation.
That's an interesting
And
perspective.
like I thought it until because like really we don't fully know that they're vampires, even though Michael hallucinates several times. But we see that like David's sort of toying with him, and this is after they've smoked like a giant cannon, you know, like so it's, you know,
Sam,
how much of it was
Sam reacts a bunch to it though, like through because all of those
Yeah, but
moments
he's
where he
also-
like finds out, but he could definitely be in the dream.
But
It could
he
still be
gets
from
caught
Michael's
up with the-
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets caught up with the Frog Brothers
Yeah.
who are like bored stiff working at this comic book store who like have their own comic book about vampire hunting. So they're living and they're like between 13 and 15, probably a bit younger. It's probably 13-ish. So they're still like imagine playing and all of this, you know? So it's kind of, I always wondered, and it was right at the end when the mom is like, oh my God, a motherfucking vampire in the house. I'm like, oh, okay. So they're really vampires.
I don't know.
But
I
it
like
was
the theory. I think
the parent confirmation, like once the adults confirmed, I was like, oh, okay, so there's really, yeah, they're really vampires. But it took me the whole movie, and again, even at a younger age, being like, well, is he just on, you know, the reefer madness, or like, is it really? Anyways, it was just a thought I had. I'm like, it is a vampire movie. We know that, but
yeah, no, I like it. I think
it occurred to me.
I think it's a good theory. I absolutely, so in addition to the saxophone player scene, which obviously should be everyone's favorite moment in this movie, but let's say for my second
It was
favorite,
quite 80s sexy. I mean,
was
the
80s
gauzy
sexy.
curtains, the candles in like a cave, which is technically a hotel that fell down the fissure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all very sexy. Yes.
my second favorite, and it's like moments, not necessarily like only one tiny scene, but I do love the like long scene where Sam is first discovering that Michael is turning into a vampire. Like from the moment that he's like super defensive of the dog, it's like, well, what did you do to my dog? Like, why? It's not like, why are you hurt? The dog is like attacked him because he's a vampire. But then it's like,
Which is such a sibling thing.
Sam immediately goes from like, you're being an asshole brother, to like, stop hurting the dog, to like, oh shit, you're disappearing, you must be a vampire, to like immediately call
How am I going to save your
the
life?
Frog Brothers. And then I love the moment where like Sam is on the phone with his mom, and Michael is like floating outside, and they're just like arguing and trying to like decide what to do. And again, like this,
She's on a date.
This whole long scene is brilliant because she's on a date. She gets the call at the restaurant, which used to be a thing and obviously isn't anymore. And then she just literally abandons her date and peels off as he watches her drive away. And then by the time she gets home, they've decided that they're just gonna like solve it by themselves and not tell the mother anything. But that whole scene, I just think from start to finish is so perfectly done because it's so accurate to like teenage brothers. It's so like pure in its ridiculousness. I love that,
And like this
the
single
mother is
parenthood
fantastic.
too.
Yeah, she's like peace. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go
Even
see my
and oh
kid.
my God, she's such a good actress.
She really
like
is.
she goes to drop off a bottle of wine to apologize for abandoning her date the next morning.
Her car is even perfect in that, but like everything about that scene is fantastic as he watches her peel out.
And she goes, and he has this like fence, this little white picket fence, and this long sort of boardwalk towards his house. And his dog, Thor, whatever the dog's name was, who we later find out is his like animal familiar that's supposed to protect him during the daytime.
Yep.
So while he's in his like dead sleep during the day, this dog is supposed to protect him. So the dog, who previously has been very kind and very sweet, sees her and attacks her. And she can't even open the fence, so she flings herself over it. But she's in one of those like we used to call them broomstick skirts. They're like very gauzy and flowy, and she gets like stuck on the fence, and the dog's got it. And she's trying to. I was like, oh my God, the physicality of that scene it wasn't meant to be funny. It was meant to be scary, but she was just so good at it. She's like screaming at her kid, like, just start the car or something.
She can't help but be funny. Like I I don't
Yeah,
know if
she's
she's
so good.
trying, but she just seems like she must be, I'm hoping and assuming in real life, the most likable person, because she's the same level of like deadpan but like slapstick in Better Off Dead as well. So like she's just, there's something about her as her physicality and her presence and the way that she's able to do those scenes. I
And
just
her
think is
voice
fantastic. Her
is
voice,
so
yeah,
recognizable as well.
yeah,
And like every time, like even hearing her in a movie, I know exactly who it is before even seeing her. Like
yeah.
she's just I think she's very underrated. What's her Diane Weist?
Maybe
Weist?
there. Oh, there you go. I was like, I wouldn't know, but Kathy to the rescue. Diane
Weiss,
Weiss.
yes.
You were there.
Weiss or voice?
She is awesome.
Don't know. But yes, she's amazing. I love her. And she played a mom very often. And like she was quite a bit younger in this movie and in Better Off Dead, but she was always typecast as this mom because I think she had this very wholesome quality that she could get across.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So how does this
Even in
one
a horror movie.
sit for you? I mean, obviously you and I are both biased because we love this movie. So, and we really 99% of the movies we review are ones that we really like. But how do you think it does actually hold up against some of the other like vampire teen media, whether it's, Vampire
think it
Diaries,
holds
Twilight,
up.
Buffy, like all of those other ones that kind of came after this, like it like can't be silly 80s or like actually interesting vampire portrayal and define the generation. What?
Yeah. Both. I think it
Yes.
does have, I mean, it's obviously the 80s and it's an 80s teen movie, so it has that sort of stamp.
Mhm.
There's a lot of pop culture in the costuming and the clothes, and it's even mentioned a lot, and like the difference between like this small coastal town versus like the big city. They came from Phoenix, so it's like, oh, you city slicker, and like, so it's like there's a lot of pop culture in the movie.
Yeah.
But it does portray teens, and like I was saying before, the teen struggle and all of that, as well as vampire lore. Like it does have good, solid vampire lore that's not, say, like Twilight with her sparkly vampires. And I'm going to say something that a lot of people, especially since Twilight is very popular right now again, because I think it's its 20th anniversary.
Nope.
But that aside,
yeah,
they released some 20th anniversary books that are
wrong.
beautiful. And I already
Incorrect.
have the special edition of the books plus the regular books. I'm like, I have 2 copies of these stupid books. Anyways, what I like about the Twilight books is that I don't think they're vampire books. I think they use vampirism or vampires as, they use sort of these fantastical characters as a literary device, as opposed to it being about vampires.
Yeah.
So I don't put Twilight in
That's fair.
the vampire basket because I don't, it's not really a vampire. It's a teen romance, okay? It's Romeo and Juliet.
It's Romeo and Juliet,
she
yeah.
used vampires to create the Montague and Capulet situation, or the Darcy and Elizabeth situation. It's not, anyways, I thought it was quite clever because I never read it as
a vampire book. Yeah.
As a vampire book.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny as a vampire movie. Like it's like there are moments where I'm like, I know this happened in the book, but like in the movies, this is the skin of a killer, Bella. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I did watch the movie like 50 times, but still it was pretty bad.
I mean,
but like, this I liked. They did like the sherry, like the blood and the changes, and you have to do your first kill, and like there's a
rules,
lot of, and this
right?
staking,
there's a lot of
and
vampire rules in this, and I do think like the concept of I mean, that carries through, I think, to all of the other vampire media to some extent. It's always slightly different, and this one's actually like fairly drastically different, I guess. But there are often like the rules that vampires need to abide by, and this one is definitely a little bit different. Like they are able to go out in the sun to some extent, but then there's all these different kinds of
might depend on their age.
Yeah, because then you have the older one that. The older one that isn't able to. Kathy is
Yeah.
saying it's the perfect mix of teen angst and campiness and vampire
Yeah.
lore. So true. Even
Exactly.
Buffy the TV show isn't about vampires as much as it is about high school hell. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
And they do
that's
stick to a lot of the like sort of original like Romanian
Mhm.
mythologies and lore and stuff that came from their folk tales and like genuine real life folk tales. Like
Yeah.
the whole like vampire thing, which interestingly enough, Dracula, like Dracul, or I don't know how you say it in Romanian. I am so sorry. I'm from a neighboring country, but not literal neighbors. But
I wouldn't know the difference, so you're fine. You're fine.
I don't know how to say it properly, but
Yeah.
it does actually mean dragon,
Oh,
interestingly enough.
interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where the bat thing came from. It would make more sense if Dracula turned into, who was a real person, by the way. Count, I mean, he was a count, and they were like sort of ruled that part of Romania at the time, and they were fighting against the Germans, which, why do I know all so much about vampires? Which is why when the movie Nosferatu came out, it was such like a slight, because it's a German movie and it's not your fucking shit. Like, step off, dude. You know? So, anyways, and it means dragon, not bat. So, whatever.
Interesting.
Which would be so much cooler if the vampires turned into dragons.
That would be way cooler.
I'm like, could we do that? Hi, somebody, maybe some brilliant, beautiful Romanian filmmaker, make a vampire movie where you don't turn into a bat but a dragon.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it
Absolutely.
exists, just not in the Western world.
Well, all right, before we get to the end of the episode, we definitely need to talk about the no two vampires die in the same way rule in this movie. So I guess Schumacher told the effects crew that he didn't want any of the vampire deaths to be the same. He wanted it all to be interesting and unique. And so we have vampires dying in like literally every conceivable way in this movie.
Yes.
Which I think is...
I mean, they do all eventually explode.
They do all eventually explode.
Guts everywhere except for David.
Except for David, who is beautiful, even in death. Even in
Which,
death.
I have the craziest thing.
Okay.
I have a very strong memory. That must be, I would say it's Mandela effect, but I might be the only person with this memory. And I don't know where I would have picked it up from, but I swear to God.
It's your own Mandela effect, just you.
So David is the only one that doesn't explode all over the room, okay?
Yeah.
And he dies, and he's beautiful, and his vampire father is like, my beautiful son.
I know,
and then he explodes, and it's yes, and it's this whole thing. And Schumacher does say it's because to leave it open for a sequel and for David to come back. Okay, but I very distinctly remember like a post-credit, like panning away from Santa Carla. I want to say Santa Cruz, but from Santa Carla, and you see him like flying, and his eyes yellow, and I'm like, I swear to God, that's a real thing. And I scavenged the internet today and cannot find it. And I need to dig out my VHS if I still have it. It wasn't on the DVD. It wasn't on the several versions I found on the internet of this movie.
Wild.
Where did I get that?
Wild.
I swear to God, you see David at the end, like post-credit.
I don't remember
and
that because
there's
it's
apparently
your own Mandela
no
effect.
post-credit.
But if I will help you look for it because I'm that good.
But I can't be completely wrong because I learned today that Joel Schumacher's like, yes, David is still alive, even though we never made the sequel that I was hoping to make.
There you go.
And I learned that today. So how did I know it before? I don't know.
Me over here, I'm like, they should make it now. And I was like, right, except that Kiefer Sutherland would be a lot older and that wouldn't be possible.
Well, the sequel is starring one of his younger brothers.
Okay.
Angus, maybe?
I don't think I ever saw any of the sequels to this movie. Or I don't remember them anyway, if I did.
They were both straight to DVD, I believe.
That I knew, but...
And I did enjoy the second one.
All right.
And I think Kiefer might have maybe even made a cameo in it. I can't remember. I know his younger brother was sort of like the new David. But I did like it, I think.
You would have
It
really,
wasn't as good as this.
you would
but
have
I did
absolutely
enjoy
hated
it.
the possibility. So Jim Carrey actually auditioned for the role of of David, and Kiefer Sutherland ended up taking over. Can you imagine how much you would have hated that movie if Jim Carrey had been the lead?
Look, Jim Carrey can be a very good actor.
Yeah.
He just does this little ham thing that he can't help himself do that
he's a
takes him out
comedian.
of the character
Yeah.
or the role or the. And he's just a bit of a douche canoe. But anyways,
Well, he didn't make it into the movie, so you can remain
yeah.
okay. But he did start an 80s vampire comedy that
I
I don't
mean-
remember called Once Bitten, 1985.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Kathy is
So
with you, by the
Kiefer
way.
apparently is also a huge douche canoe, so I guess it's not really a great argument. I don't enjoy Jim Carrey as much as I wouldn't have if he tried to make this funny. But he would have been young enough that maybe he wouldn't have tried that yet.
May not have. Kathy says that she had the same Mandela effect for the end of Fame. She remembered a version with what happened to the characters at the end. Yeah, it is.
Yes!
It is amazing. Sometimes you like.
Isn't that actually a thing though?
I couldn't tell you, but we should all spend a lot
Specifically
of our
for
time
Fame.
hunting
Kathy,
it down.
no. I absolutely feel you. And I know there's some stupid thing like they're saying Richard Simmons never wore a sweat headband.
Yeah,
well, I
that one
have it on
will-
fucking VHS.
That
I
one I'll
literally
fight
have
on.
the VHS.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna fight on.
It's like even Fruit of a Loom tweeted we never had a cornucopia, and it pissed one girl off so much that she went down to like the trademarks office in California where they were trademarked as a company and found their original trademark, and it's like, yeah, you did, bitch. Like, I don't know what it is with the internet
Yeah.
trying to do this erasure to certain random like who cares if Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia or not? Why are you trying to delete that information from our brains? Why? Like, they did.
Mhm.
And Richard Simmons did wear a sweat headband.
Yeah, no, he did. He did. You can all fight us on
I have that, and I have it on VHS. I have like Jane Fonda on VHS. She also wore them. Like,
yeah, because we
but
all
if you
wanted
Google
them.
it now, he never did. I have some. Like my dad used to wear them mowing the lawn and stuff. Like anyway. But yes, no, I remember David at the end of the movie, and I remember the follow-up of the Fame kids. Like those are real things.
Both accurate things.
Yes. And in Never Been Kissed, there was a whole montage scene with a computer program trying on different clothes and hairstyles. And that is cut off. And that's cut out. And apparently that was a cut scene. They just cut it when it went from theater release to home release to video release.
We should do
apparently
a movie Mandela effect episode. I feel like there's probably a lot of them. Things that were either like cut out that people don't remember, or things that people
Black
think
Hawk
that
Down
aren't
at the
true.
end of the movie, they show the UN soldiers running in to get the guys to save them because nobody else would go get him. So the UN went in to get them, cut it out. But that was political. Because like, oh, it's getting nominated for Oscars. Let's cut out the fact that
Let's
we
make a
didn't
little
go save
edit.
our
Let's
own
make a
people.
tweet. Let's make a tweet.
But don't worry, we got your backs. We're always there for you.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I love this movie. It had fashion, it had music, it had so many earrings, it had beautiful people, it had great placement of the vampire teeth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you notice like the vampire teeth are so cumbersome for some actors in shows that they start to like lisp or slur their words because of the prosthetic.
Yeah.
But in this one, it was good. Like, I mean, they were also kind of hissing and like yelling at each other a lot. So, but it was great. It was really well done.
I thought the lines were great. I didn't.
So funny.
As a teen movie in the 80s, I mean, we talked a little bit about this, like whether or not it holds up. I can't say as though you are very right that it is in the time capsule of the 80s, but as a movie showing the 80s in a fictionalized vampire town, there's nothing about this movie that like is dated past the 80s-ness of it. Like there's nothing that is like inappropriate now or like, you know, I don't know, none of these actors have been canceled. There's nothing that should stop you from enjoying it.
No, even if they copy pasted this movie but added cell phones instead of
updated
regular
like the
phones.
No, they can't update the music because if they get rid of the sax player, it's not the same movie.
Like, you have to have the oiled sax player, which did we talk about the chain, literal actual construction chain choker that he had. Like, that's intense. How heavy was that?
I mean,
my God.
I'm not gonna say that man deserved an Oscar because, you know, really, I mean, like that scene made a movie.
Best supporting role? Yeah. Costume design? Imagine that was your job. I have to go oil up that musician again today.
Oil up that musician. Kathy is so excited. She's jumping ahead. She's like, 4, I'm in. 4. She's jumping.
Absolutely.
Ahead. She's jumping ahead. You can always jump ahead, Kathy. We get distracted. I wanted to, before we get all the way there, if anyone else wants to throw their ratings in, feel free to definitely do that. Or whether or not we convinced you, that's our other rating system. But I think, so in addition to the one quote that we already said, my other favorite quote that I copied so I would read it correctly, but it was, "Great, the blood-sucking Brady Bunch." I thought that one was really great.
Oh my God, Corey Feldman in this was so cute. Like, he was always good in his roles, but like, why he dropped his register so much of this? He's
basically
like
just Rambo. He's like
voice.
Kid Rambo throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
Like the look, the voice, all of it.
Funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like, he has very good comedic timing. Like, he was just really, really good in this role, and it seemed ridiculous, but it was to the darkness of this, like the darker topics of this movie, like the Frog Brothers.
It's nice to have
really
comic
brought
relief,
the life, like the comic to it. It was
and there
great.
is something like, again, I mean, they were the original tie to this being like Goonies-esque and kid movie, and
it was supposed to be about them.
There is something like kind of interesting about the fact that like the kids are the only ones that like, other than the grandfather, I guess, the kids and the grandfather are the ones that instantly believe and that are like trying to make a difference. It was like, hey, call us when you meet the vampires. Like, we've got your back.
We will help you slay them.
We will help you slay them. I just think there was something really like nice about that. That's absolutely fantastic. So
that seems to be one of our favorite tropes, is like kid ingenuity and
kid ingenuity. Kid ingenuity,
and like their independence and taking it on, and
kid gangs, friendship forever, working together. Goonies never die.
I'm like, is our love of children's independence and taking on these adult problems in movies a reflection of being latchkey kids?
Probably.
Is it a reflection of our, what some people might say is childhood trauma and we just say was character building?
Well, no, I will say
kids nowadays are learning emotions from In and Out or Inside Out, and we're like, we learned emotions from like every Disney parent getting murdered.
Every Disney mother. The dads always survive. Let's be real. The dads are apparently the Disney trope is that dads are like way more endearing when their wives are brutally murdered and they have to be like step up and take care of the kids themselves. That's the Disney trope. Well, I am with you, Kathy. In fact, we took it even a step further. We're unsurprisingly all the way at five Christian taters on this one. That
last tater is solely for the sax player.
So 4 for the movie, and then the bonus tater is for the saxophone player. Actually, that is honestly where I stand. I think this movie, like, I know that it's probably kind of ridiculous to say to people like Josh who have not seen this movie, because if you look at the scenes of it, you're like, what? But like,
I mean, it does get scary, especially when you're younger, like when they're all fighting and exploding and dying at the end. Like, it is actually scary. Like, you're scared for like the survival rate of the main character.
Very true.
Which they all survive.
But this movie, like, I really do like it. It does not like it. It takes a genre and a topic that has been around for a really long time and gives it its own spin. And I think that like it being one of the first ones that brought that more into kind of like the teen space, and then also set it in this very like specific time and place. I really think it's very well done. Like as far even if you don't like the genre, I just think it's a very well done.
I mean,
movie,
like,
so.
how much Team Vampire shit have we had since 1987?
Right? Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. Oh,
Joel Schumacher's like,
Unless-
you're welcome, everybody.
unless the dad is Mufasa. True story. True story. Lion
Yeah,
King is
that was-
Lion King is
That was rough.
Don't make us cry, Josh. There's a reason we can't do that one on the show. And Kathy is saying that she's glad that we had movies as Latchkey Kids. We were just a beat before having video games to keep us busy and not just movies. That's true.
I remember when Nintendo came out, and I was like, okay, like, this is new.
We can do this now. Yeah.
Like, we didn't have a did we? No, Marilyn. Remember Marilyn used to babysit us? She had an Atari.
Yeah, she had an Atari. Yeah.
Yeah, one of her sons had an Atari. They were older than us, but like we didn't have like Atari. We didn't have computers in the 80s yet. I know my uncle did, and my aunt, but we're not a family of geeks at all.
Well, George is right there with Kathy, with four vampires. Yeah, all in all, a good one and really fun to rewatch. So good call, Nat.
Yeah.
And
Love
and
it.
I'm excited because next week we are doing Christine, which is a horror movie about a car. Is that correct, Nat? I don't think I've seen this
Yes,
one.
it is. This is one of the things that my dad taped in the middle of the night, and then the next day he's like, "Okay, kid, I got this movie
An
for you to
Andy
watch.
special.
It's a
I'm in.
classic."
I'm in for it.
Yeah. He's like, "Just trust me with it." He's like, "It's so bad, it's good. It's so you will love this movie." And I'm like, "All right."
I love it. I love it. Well, so Christine coming up next. Josh, hang in there with us. Hang in there with us. We're gonna get into. We're gonna get back in. We got to do some spooky movies, but yeah, you don't have to watch them with us.
You
we're
don't want to
still
watch
welcome
Christine,
in the club.
probably.
Yeah, you don't want to watch Christine. Skip over next week's episode.
Lost Boys, you might enjoy. Final Destination, you might ish. Maybe not, but you won't like Christine.
No, you won't like Christine. You won't like Christine at all. Oh my gosh. Well, I do need to make a special announcement. So we do, as a reminder, we still have coming up in less than a week. So on Wednesday, October 8th is going to be our first VHS Club Tater Tot watch party. We are going to do Empire Records, which Josh is excited to watch, not a horror movie. So we'll be sending out information about that. I do know a few of you have reached out to us. Huge thanks to Josh and Andrew and have said that our emails are currently going to spam. And I think it's just that I set something up wrong. So thank you for letting us know. We'll get that fixed. And we will be sure to make sure that every one of you has the link, even if I have to DM or personally email you, of which I can because you have been really good at emailing us directly. So
Yes.
definitely we'll let you know about the watch party.
Thank you so much.
And if it all goes horribly wrong, we will just reschedule a different watch party. So no one
We'll
panic.
do watch party 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll just be like our first
It'll
episode.
be like our first
where
episode.
we do it twice.
Yeah, where we do it twice. So we might have to do a remix edition of the watch party, but barring email issues and tech issues and all the other potential issues, I do think we are going to pull it off. So I promise I will work hard to get the email back up and running. Thank you for being the kinds of fans who are like, wait a second, I'm not getting your emails. I love that. That makes me feel so incredibly happy. So yeah, we'll get that problem solved. And then we'll make sure that we get you access to our shiny new watch party Wednesdays. And we are going to try to do this, if it works, fingers crossed, which we think it will. We're going to make it even better, and we're going to try to do it once a month. So this is where you can pick what movies following Empire Records we watch all together as a group. So we really appreciate. I know literally for the last 100 and whatever episodes we're on right now, we've been like, we should do a watch party, and all of you have been like, you should do a watch party. So here we are. We finally got there. We're almost there.
Yes.
We're a week away. And we'll be able to hang out with all of you. So we really appreciate you. And thanks so much for always having our back. That's what a club is for. So without further ado, we will see you next week for Christine. And I can't remember what we have after that. I have to check our schedule. I think we still have a couple more spooky ones, and then we're into something else.
Can't remember.
You know what? We have a schedule, but then we're always happy to change our minds. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah. John Hughes month?
We did want to do a bunch of John Hughes in November, so we might have to jump into that next. But I think we still have a couple more spooky or spooky-ish movies, and then we'll jump into.
We probably do. I feel like you had asked me, like, give me a list of spooky movies, and I was like, here you go, bam, 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 and I don't remember what that is.
Every single time.
I know I said Christine.
Yeah, I know Christine was next week. I wrote that one down. And then I was like, I should hold up the schedule. And then I was like, oh, I lost that. It's gone. The schedule's gone. oh, I found it. I just found it. All right. After Christine, Sleepaway Camp, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then Rocky Horror, then Princess Bride, and then we jump into John Hughes movies.
John Hughes month. Oh yes,
but
Katie's never seen Sleepaway Camp.
I've never seen Sleepaway Camp,
so be prepared. Yep. That's kind of like the OG slasher. I'm pretty sure that's the first. It's accredited for being the first teen slasher. So and it's got a great twist. It's got a great twist at the end.
I'm in. We may have to do micro episodes in between just for Josh, where we're like, okay, so you watch,
and here's the next Disney movie.
we'll do mini Disney breaks in between. I'm in for that, Josh. I'll do specific ones just for you. I think it'll be fantastic. Well, I hope everyone has an absolutely fantastic week. We will see you next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube, or whenever and wherever you want to watch after that for Christine. But thanks for hanging out with us this week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Yeah,